Babylon here, everybody. This is episode 15. We're doing the mission Solid Metal. Uh, this mission here, you'll have to go to three different areas. One is in the forest, one's in the Arctic, and one's in the desert, and collect resources and turn them in, and so that way they can go back to their deal. Now, this does take quite a bit of time because you're traveling between biomes and everything to three different places, and then having to find the ores and stuff. But if if you wanted to, you could just have the stuff on you when you get there. But I couldn't remember what you're supposed to have, so I wound up farming it. But I cut all the farming out. You'll see me start the mission, go down to the first pod, and you'll see me again putting the stuff in the pod, sending it off, then traveling to the next one, and so forth.
ACS just put a
Uh, I
contract
did
up.
get it
The
finished, but it took a
ACS
total
might
of
be
about three and
loud,
a half hours.
weird, and
So
paranoid,
but
but
then
they got the
again, it'd
tech
probably
and the
been
cash
faster
to
if
do
I just went
whatever
around
they
and collected
want.
all of them, figure out what I all needed, just went back to my base and got it, and then just run around and took everything back. But I chose not to. I chose to just go ahead and take it straight forward. Uh, for all those who have been watching my videos, I thank you for that. Uh, I really do appreciate that. And like I said, don't be afraid to leave a comment or anything. There's not really much left to say. The next mission is preservation, but that's also up in the desert where it was at. So when I ended the deal, I started it, and I was thought about just going ahead and putting them both on the same deal. But then again, you're talking about 6 hours or so. But I won't be releasing that one until Monday. But I believe it's dry foods or something like that. You have to send up. But that'll take a lot of hunting because you have to hunt mammoth, elephant, bears, you name it. You have to hunt everything in order to get all the different style meats. It'd be nice if you had some way to get elephants and stuff like that over to your skinning bench, but unfortunately, there's no way you can do that. Bears. I don't think you can pick a bear up or a horse or a buffalo up. So you have to. I think it's just deer and wolves you can pick up, and maybe cougars and stuff. But other than that, I mean, if you want the rarest meats, is what they're wanting, and unfortunately, only particular animals are guaranteeing it, so you'll have to hunt those animals. But in this one here, it's pretty much self-explanatory. I did take stuff with me to build a base, to put a furnace down, uh, a bed, and stuff to pass through the night, stuff like that. What I wind up doing, my poor wolves almost died from starvation there because I forgot to bring enough food because I didn't realize it was going to take as long as it was. Last time I did it, it was back when I first had the game. I must have been like level, I wasn't even level 60 yet. I think I was like level 45. But if I would remember what, I would have probably took some of the stuff with me. But with that being said, I mean I had a lot of stuff on me when I finished the mission. But I suggest that that way you can, because you're gonna have to have cover. I took a ranch bench and stuff down from the other day when we did the mission up yonder at the top. But like I said, we're just gonna watch me go to like each drop zone pod and get each pod, and then turn around and go from there that way, and just turn the resources in. I had to mine everything and just smelt it, so it's it made it a pretty long video. So just sit back and enjoy it, and I hope you had fun with watching it. And here I'm just getting all my animals up. Make sure you use your bow in the desert biome, because man, that sure does attract all those jaguars and stuff. I didn't realize that meat was coming around, but then again, you're shooting in a canyon. They get pretty damn loud, so should have been using my bow all that time up there. But I did enjoy using the shotgun. The shotgun was pretty cool. But you gotta be careful with it, especially I made explosive ammo with it, and almost killed myself there a couple of times. But Yeah, you gotta be careful with that stuff, and it does damage to your animals if you get it too close to them. But it does do high impact, especially on the scorpions. But and bears didn't like it either. But like I said, it was fun to use. And when I did start the quest, these caves that were down here that I went into the mine, they did reset the ores in them. And I guess that the update they did the other day also reset the exotics in the mines too. Because I was getting quite a few exotics, so it worked out in my favor that way. But like I said, it was just a lengthy mission there. I mean, you have to be prepared for it. I think the first one is like 150, no, 300 iron, and I forgot what the other one was. But in the Arctic, it was like 300 copper ingots, and then desert was steel. So, but you up there in that part, you're near a large cave that's got all the coal, and gets all the iron you need in there. But it's just, like I said, it was just time consuming. It was very time consuming. Yeah, we're down there now where I usually would build a base at. This is the lake I like to use. Uh, I did use a windmill, powered windmill once, but that has to be set on uh, moving water. But down at that lake, you can't set it on there and work. You have to have a stream leaving it or a stream coming into it in order for it to work, I think. But that's one of the things on this base here. I built where I'm fixing to build at right here. I built a small base to do all that stuff and got it done and got in a hurry and just took off and didn't even think about it. I forgot to pack up the base. So when I got to the Arctic, I grabbed everything and went over to the cultivator trader, and then where I had that base set up there, smelted everything, then took everything back over there and turned it in. But when I went to the desert area, I tore down that small section of it and took it to the desert with me. But it was a handy little thing. It was pretty cool.
All you gotta do now is get that stuff back to orbit.
It did make me a titanium pickaxe, and man, it was quite a bit of an improvement. But this weekend, I'll be recording. I'll be moving my base up there to the where I'm gonna start the new build at for the main base. But I also found another spot I seriously thought about building the main base at. I don't like building in the desert or the Arctic because you have to have the air conditioners and the heaters and stuff like that constantly. But that place in the desert looks pretty freaking cool. I mean, I really did like the way that looked. But I don't know how the solar panels will work with the sand piling up on top of it. That's the only downside of building into the desert or the Arctic is you had the snow build up and the sand build up, which if you get too build up, it would cause damage on your roof and stuff. But I don't know how that works with the solar panels. I don't know if it would cover the solar panels and the solar panels won't work or what. I never did try that before. But I'll put one over there just to test it out and see if it works. Even when the sand's on top of it. Still setting everything up there. That's when I had to get the furnace built, the table built and everything, so started smelting there, and then of course here we are putting all the stuff back in it now. Yeah, like I said, I messed up. I should have took the furnaces with me and tore the building down and everything, and just took it all. It probably wouldn't take near as long. But I know where the Arctic drops on it. There's a big cave over there that's probably got plenty of stuff, plenty of copper in there to do all your copper ingots for that mission.
We ain't done here, though. Check your map for the next location. That's it. You got everything. That wasn't so hard, was it?
Make that long trek into the Arctic. We're going to run into a couple of polar bears and a couple of scorpions, but there was nothing that shotgun in the woods couldn't handle. At least I didn't get the wood stuck into one of those caverns there this time. So, like I said, it's just time consuming. It's long treks. back and forth. I wish they had like a teleport system where you can build like one. I wouldn't say a base everywhere you're farming at, but probably one base in each biome. That way you can just teleport to that biome and take care of stuff. Maybe one day they'll hear it and actually do it or something. Who knows? I wish those woods could keep up with the horse, you know. That'd be sweet. I couldn't figure out why that one was running so slow until about halfway through the Arctic there when I realized he was starving. He didn't eat when we was at the when I had all the food down for some reason. But it's on him. That's all on. Yeah, there's not really a whole much you can say on this mission here. But like I said, though, with that shotgun, the polar bears are a little easier to handle. I know before I start that next quest, I'm gonna have to run back to the base to get some more ammo. That desert kept me pretty busy. But yeah, it's just it's a long, lengthy. Yeah, I couldn't figure out. I think this is where I realized it needed some food. But yeah, it. I mean, it's some of these missions don't make sense to me. You know, like because I kind of felt like I've already done that mission. You know, like I'm saying on that earlier when we went down in the forest and got all that stuff. But it's for opening up the area, I guess. It needs to be done. At the end, I missed a shot there. There's no problem though when you got enough ammo in your weapon. Yeah, there he is. He's finally showing up. But, thought about grabbing a mammoth, but man, like I said earlier, those mammoths are slow. I mean, and they're real. I mean, when they get full grown, they take up a lot of space. But they can definitely carry a lot of weight. They got a lot of slots, but they're so hard to get around. It's unreal. Yeah, I think here's where I'm going to wind up giving him some food. Yeah, see there, he's pretty starved out. But I was shocked though that he wasn't taking any damage, but he sure as hell couldn't keep up with anybody though. One thing's for certain, we did think I get us some high hens. Those things are pretty dang tough. You know, I think they'll be better off before we start getting into too far into the desert, especially down there where the sandworms are. But it's something else that we need to do too. Is find oil. And just so that we can get that jackhammer going. And this shotgun did pretty good against this deal. Like I said, with the shotgun, with the explosive ammo, you gotta be careful. I think that's the only reason why it was doing so much damage to that scorpion. The scorpions, man, they got some pretty good armor on them. There's one of those taverns there. We're almost there to it now, so I don't know whether it's. I think I'm gonna have to get me some better armor. I think when we get the chance, I think I want to make that miner's armor. We'll have to have that anyway when we do the first great hunt. Because you have to use a pickaxe to break the armor off them. So. Whenever that's one, I'm sitting there stuck behind that one little rock. That is so goofy. And of course, you know, I can find my way in the dark. Yeah, I think this one here is 300 copper and 300 300 ice. That's what it is. So yeah, it's shocking me how much they're asking.
Looks like the unit's ready.
But I don't know if that changes uh, for each time you do it or what. Because I could have sworn the last time I did this in the desert, I had to find silica, and this time I had to find oxynite. But and here we just wound back up and made our delivery. Yeah, I think right here is where thought I heard a bear or a polar bear, and I got out and couldn't find it, see it anywhere. But and that was done. Now it's time for the long trek over to the desert. Yeah, I think that was old George that got hung up over here, the horse. Uh, Luckily nobody killed it, but didn't run into a polar bear off all by himself. So. Went ahead and fed them all and get their handlebar filled completely up. I don't know what it is about this one area here, but it sure does gets me turned around. Ugh. It'd be cool you had like a little see-through mini map on here that sticks up. But then again, if you had that, it probably wouldn't be big enough to show you the whole square. You know what I mean? Yeah, here I'm just trying to get them to drink some water. Sometimes they'll drink it, sometimes they won't. I ain't exactly sure why, unless I have to set them all to wondering in order for them to do it. Instead of just follow. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna have to get ourselves a couple of them hyenas. That's all there is to it. And start leaving those wolves at home. I think the reason why they were going through their food and stuff so fast is for the fact that they're not desert animals and they're in the desert. Uh, that could be the reason why they're going through the food and water so fast. But we'll get us some hyenas and boars and stuff for the desert. Those wolves got to get everything. Yeah, it takes a while to get this one done there, but I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all like, share, leave a comment. We'll see you next time. Peace out.